Nicholas Roach is about to be caught by the chasing group. Cadel Evans, he takes a few seconds out, he loses a couple of seconds. He takes a few more out, he loses a couple of seconds. It's 3:08 the gap at the moment. What a fantastic day's racing here on the Galibier. In the highest part of the Alps we have been. Well, Darren McQuaid, brother of Pat McQuaid, was staying in the same hotel as Nicholas Roach last night and told me that he really didn't want to end up with an anonymous Tour de France, and that is what he's had today. He's put that right. Everybody knows what he's been doing today. Oh, real pain and suffering in the shoulders evident there of Ryder Hysdal, who's just plugging away. 3 kilometers to go for Andy Schleck. Andy Schleck attacked with about 60 to go. Remember, Just Postuma and Maxime Montfort made it into the early break of 19 men. Postuma drove it along until some of the other favourites who had riders in the breakaway had those riders blown out the back. Euskaltel in particular and BMC. Here on the slopes of the Galibier, over 4.5 minutes was the advantage that Andy Schleck had originally. Andy's got to ride to the stage victory here unless something spectacular happens and he blows big style in the last 2.5 kilometres. But behind, the battle is on to limit the losses, and it's all been down to the Australian Cadel Evans, twice a runner-up in this Tour de France. He looked around, he shrugged his shoulders saying, "Who's going to help me?" And everybody said, "Not me, Charlie, off you go." And that's exactly what Evans has had to do. He's been chasing him for the last 6 kilometres, basically. He's got the gap down to 3. It's not coming down.
Is there anybody capable of attacking Cadel Evans? Because they've been sitting on him for a long, long time, and I wonder, is there many of them that really want to attack him? Because Evans has been doing so much work on the front. It's a real difficult situation for the other favourites who are just being pulled along by Cadel Evans for a big number of kilometres now.
You must realise surely that this is the time, if there is any time at all, to try and go, because Evans has done so much work. And as you say, Sean, I very much doubt if he could respond if somebody could attack. That's the big thing. It's about could attack. Whether they should attack is not here nor there. It's whether they can. 2.2 kilometres to go for Andy Schleck. Magnificent day's racing. The highest ever finish in the Tour de France. And the yellow jersey doing himself absolutely proud. I make no apologies for saying that. And trumpeting the cause of Thomas Voeckler, who's been a favourite rider of many hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people around the world for a long time, and today proving wonderful. Christian Prudhomme getting a little shirty with somebody dressed up as the mask on the side of the road. Here we are behind Evans's. Contador's being distanced. It's Contador who's going backwards here. Evans did the work. Now Basso came to the front for just a second, and Contador is in trouble, Sean.
Yes, certainly is, and all wondering that what was the problem with Contador and Tour, because waiting so long to Cadel Evans on the front, it had to be a case that he was on the limit and not capable of doing it.
Well, he's ridden back up for a moment. I'm not sure he's going to stay there, though, and already the gap is increasing. He's got to get out of the saddle again to try and stay with the leading riders in this chase group. No, it's not going to happen. That's it for Alberto Contador. Evans still driving on a relentless pace from Evans, proving too much for Alberto Contador. Oh, it's a big massive gap. Contador is saying goodbye to the Tour de France. That is the moment, I think, when Contador is going to finish his challenge for the top. He was already 3 minutes and 15 seconds down on Thomas Voeckler. Curtains.
Yes, Curtains, I think he's totally empty there, and we can see the gap is just growing out rapidly, a huge gap up to the group of Cadel Evans, and now it comes to the point that Cadel Evans taking it up, taking the risk that Contador was in difficulty. Now it's working out for Evans, but still that advantage for Andy Schleck still at 3 minutes.
Is there any possibility that he can regroup his forces, he can get himself back together, and he can just up his own pace very slightly? It looks unlikely. You do see it with riders, but I think just too difficult for Alberto Contador. But what of this man, Cadel Evans? He's gritting his teeth and really going for it. 2:58 for the first time in a long time. The gap has come down under 3 minutes. Vogler has a chance here to hang on to this yellow jersey if only Evans can continue riding, or he could attack in the last few hundred meters. Last kilometre then for Andy Schleck. He's going to take the honour of taking the win at the very highest stage finish ever in the Tour de France. A fantastic attack at 60 kilometres. He made it up the Col d'Izoire. He has to say it. Got plenty of help from Maxime Montfort into the bottom of the Lottery. As the yellow jersey group goes through the 1 kilometre to go back. Sorry, 2 kilometre to go banner. Contador is looking up and across, which means he already knows the distance is going at about 30 seconds, I think it is now. Now this is the time for the yellow jersey, 2:54. Come on, Tommy, you can hang on to this one. The win will go to Andy Schleck, but at 2:54, a slight weakening of Andy as he comes towards the line. I'm not surprised, he's been out for such a long time. The mighty Pierre Rolland takes up the pacemaking at the front, finally. And now Thomas Vogler has to grit his teeth and hang on to this jersey for another day, and then surely gone.
It is possible, but we see Pierre Rolland peeling off very quickly, and Vogler, I'm not sure if he called for that, or is Pierre Rolland not able, but Cadel Evans taking it up again. It's going to be real tight here, and what a ride by Vogler and Pierre Rolland, just able to hang in there. It's a performance from him that we would never have expected.
The gap this morning was 2 minutes and 36 seconds from Andy Schleck, this man here, to the yellow jersey, and it's 2:44 now. A mighty ride by Andy Schleck, fantastic descending, great climbing, but he's now paying for it. Cadel Evans, slightly fresher, really gritting his teeth. He's been second overall twice, doesn't want it again. He knows he's the best time trialist, so he wants to keep that gap down. 2:40 now, the gap. We're seeing 2004 all over again here, Sean. He's hanging on and hanging on and hanging on, but he's hanging on in huge company now.
Yes, it's what a performance by Vogler, and I'm surprised to see him in there. I thought he would have difficulty, as we see Andy Schleck in real difficulty at the moment, but then the percentage here is real steep as well. That's something we have to consider here. I think the other ones will be in the same situation, difficulty keeping the pedals turning.
150 metres for Andy Schleck. He's going to summon up every ounce of energy. Will he pay for it tomorrow is the big question. He's going to get the win here, and he just has to grit his teeth and do the last 75 metres, almost coming to a standstill, but he deserves this win today, Andy Schleck. A terrific ride by the young Luxembourg rider. Over 6 hours in the saddle, as you can see, 6:08 coming up very shortly, and Andy Schleck takes the win just inside 6 hours and 8 minutes. The clock starts. Evans still grinding away the run. Here's Frank Schleck coming up around the outside of Basso. Basso has a quick word with Thomas Vogler, I think probably saying well done. Krunigo is distanced. Evans still plugging away at the top. I wish the clock was in the bottom. We could see something. Vokla may hang on to this yellow jersey today. Thomas has to give it everything he possibly can on these smallest of slopes. Pierre Rolland, mighty effort. The yellow jersey leads them around. And digging in at the hardest part of this climb. 45 seconds at the moment. Evans gets to the front again. They're all going to finish together. Evans, Vokla, Frank Schleck and Ivan Basso. The gap has to be greater than 2 minutes and 36 seconds for the yellow jersey to slide from one man to another. Oh, terrific ride by all of these men. Frank, of course, has had the advantage of Andy up the road in this case, but what grit and determination by the yellow jersey, and of course by Cadel Evans, who's done a magnificent job. 250 metres. Come on, Tommy, dig in. This must be the ride of his life. Thomas Vokla. 1:35.67. He's being tailed off a little by these riders ahead of him as Frank Schleck takes a few more seconds out of it. It is Frank who is the freshest of these riders. Evans comes behind him. Vokla giving it everything he possibly can. 2:36 is the gap. Here comes Frank Schleck. Oh, Thomas, it's going to be so close. There's almost nothing to say. You just have to wait and watch the clock at the bottom. Vokla, we've seen what a man he is. He's going to do it, is it? Thomas Vokla over the line. Yes! 2 minutes and 20 seconds. He keeps the yellow jersey into the final mountain stage of this year's Tour de France. What a ride! That is magnificent. And the French tomorrow, Sean, will be saying Vokla can win this tour.
Well, he's certainly putting up a magnificent battle, and it's amazing the way he got in there today and fighting to hold on to the yellow jersey. But depending on, tomorrow's the big day, I suppose. A lot of riders will be really suffering tomorrow. Consider what they've been through today. Andy Schleck, will he pay the price for this 60 kilometres out there on his own? Cadel Evans taking up that chase a long, long ways out. So it's Frank Schleck who gets an easier ride, I suppose, and Vokla just finishing and fighting, battling amazingly.
This is the other big battle as Rein Taramai goes across the line at 3:23. Now, Roland lost a little bit of time, but you know what? I think Roland might be in the white jersey today, and Taramai might be second again. It's going to be very, very close, that one. We'll wait for the official confirmation of that. Look at the amount of time that Alberto Contador has lost today. He may still dance on the pedals, but to Andy Schleck, he's lost another 3 minutes 49 seconds. I think it's his challenge for another Tour de France is over, Sean.
Yes, it's over. I think tomorrow's stage he's going to pay the price again today. Anybody you see paying dearly on the final climb, highly unlikely that they can recover from it. It's going to be just a difficult day again for the big favourites tomorrow. We could see some of the guys we see up there today having a bit of difficulty, but if you're in difficulty today, as we see Pierre Rolland, 2:27 down.
2:27, so about a minute between himself and Taramai. I think Taramai may be in white. Andy Schleck takes a magnificent victory, but a great ride by everybody else as well. Samuel Sanchez losing minutes and 40 seconds. Today, at least, was his. Trying to do a Viking roar, I almost believe it. Evans, what a huge job that he has done today, helping out all the other favourites. That's the nature of this game, though. That is the nature of this game. It's no good everybody getting on Twitter and saying, oh, you've got to attack from the front, lead from the front. Doesn't always work like that. You can't always work like that. Anyway, take us through the day. Well, what a day it turned out to be. Thanks to David and Sean, I'm going to make that week after today.